Hello again, this is David Smith at the Develop Conference in Brighton, and I'm pleased to have with me Ricky Haggett, the Chief Exec of HoneySlug. Ricky, please tell us a little bit about yourself and HoneySlug.
Hello. So HoneySlug's a very small indie developer. There's three of us. I primarily handle programming, and then we've got a designer, Nat Marco, and a producer, Mark Inman, based in Kentish Town in North London. We started in 2008, and we've pretty much been making a bunch of small 2D games, probably about maybe 10 or 12 of them. Initially sort of Flash, and then out into other platforms. So we've done iPhone and PSP and DS, and looking at other platforms as well.
And what sort of titles, what sort of product have you been making?
Well, the reason I'm actually here for developers to give a talk about a game we did with Sony called Kahoots, which was a PSP Minis launch title. And in that game, it's kind of a cross between Lemmings and Bejeweled. You have little characters who move around in the world, and the way you kind of manipulate them in the world is by swapping adjacent blocks, so you're rearranging the world. And the kind of hook of the game is that everything in the game we made ourselves out of plasticine, or we were drawing pictures, or scanning in fabrics and photographing objects and cutting them out. So it's a kind of collage game, made, craft game.
Fantastic. And how did you come to set up HoneySlug in the first place?
Well, we're all working for a larger developer. Well, we're still, still a small developer, but larger than we are. And we were doing kind of over the years. Well, I started in 2000, so I was there for 8 years. Over the years, we did kind of from mobile, and then into doing Flash games and PC casual games as well. So the people I started the company with are all kind of ex members of that company, which was called Morpheme. And in 2008, we all got made redundant, and so we were like, okay, well, let's just keep going. Let's take our redundancy money and let's kind of start a company and kind of just keep going for a bit, and just initially just let's see what happens. Let's go out into the world and make some new stuff and go and show it to people and see how it goes. And
with just a 3 full-time staff, it must be a great place to work.
It's good fun, yeah. I mean, we pretty much outsource all of our art, except for Kahoots. We made all the art ourselves, but in general we work with a whole bunch of artists. So it's kind of like an opportunity to work with your friends. Because the stuff we make is very small scale, it's a real opportunity to try out lots of ideas. Like, we're always making new things, and some of them get shelved and some of them get binned, but some of them get developed over time, and sometimes we go back to them with a fresh set of eyes. And so we're always kind of just working on new things and iterating. Yeah, it's good fun.
And if you were a freelance artist or freelance programmer, potentially looking to collaborate with HoneySlug, what should they do?
I guess just email me. I mean, we're definitely interested in working with people on a freelance basis. We're not really planning on taking on full-time employees, partly because it's too risky when you start growing your company with a permanent employee base. But also because it's really hard to know what we're going to be doing from like 1 month to the next. So we've got a ton of different projects kind of on the cards at any one time, and some of them come off at different times. If I'm speaking to somebody who's a freelance programmer or artist or sound designer that's interested in working with us and maybe likes the stuff that they see at our website, honeyslug.com, then yeah, just drop me an email.
Very good. And finally, what advice would you give a job seeker looking to work in the games industry in the first instance, or potentially start making small games?
I mean, I can only really talk about my end of the industry, which is the very much smaller scale teams, and I'd say there's never been a better time to get into making games. I mean, the amount of tools out there, from things like Game Maker and Flash, Unity, there's just tons of amazing tools that make it very easy for people to get into making games. And there's a whole world of communities out there to support that. So if you look at the website tigsource.com or Indie Games, there's plenty of places you can go to find like-minded people who will help you out and get you started making games.
Great advice. Ricky Haggett, CEO of HoneySlug, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.